Hey guys, so we are on to the final round of our rewatch. As you can see, we've got all hell is breaking loose up here in the north. We've got Spencer, we've got Taylor, we've got Onagers, we've got me throwing stuff, we've got Joel throwing stuff. There's a lot going on up here. While that's happening, if we go over here, you can see there's a big, long cut that Taylor is throwing stuff down. You can see he's got a ton of troops. And Taylor has made it all the way to here, and now he's cutting in to right there. On the other side, we see Travis has started back here, and he's doing the same thing on the other side. So they're trying to just come across and pinch from both ends, while all our troops are here in the middle. Let's see how it goes. So the fight continues over here. Taylor's going, and this is where all of my wood choppers are. And we'll notice that actually I'm rich in wood right now, so it's not that big of a deal. But Taylor has just killed a whole bunch of my villagers, and I didn't realize this at all. The only person that noticed it was Joel, who caught onto it very quickly, which is kind of a miracle that Joel did catch it quickly. But here goes Taylor. He's cut in. Sent a bunch of troops over here. But we've got all of these castles and all of these buildings right here. So Joel miraculously walls off. Kind of. Apparently he didn't all the way wall off. But enough that, so we're sending troops over here. They're going crazy. They're hitting our trade. Meanwhile, the fight's still going on up here. And I'm sending troops in both directions. I'm sending troops north, and we're sending troops east. And Joel just does a very good job of covering this. Also, good job with the fade areas, Joel. Personally, I only use them on water maps, but you know what? For this game, you probably used them, would be my bet. So that's happening. Larry, meanwhile, is just pushing again. He's diving again, doing another plunge. Also, we can see that I cut through over here. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm sending troops here and in. So I'm hitting Taylor's base as Taylor was attacking over here. Now, since then, we've pushed Taylor out. And notice that Joel is going to just send all these troops up through here. I don't know that it was the fastest way to go. And it's kind of entertaining that our paths that we cut met. But regardless, we're here. We are in Taylor's base. Taking out trade. Market number 1 is down. And we're hitting market number 2. While that's happening, Spencer's kind of claimed this section, but it's just not doing much. I don't know what Larry's highlighting, but he highlighted something. I guess we just got a lot of trade issues going on. But again, I've taken more trade out, and we're just working our way down. And Travis is here. He's just too little too late, though, is kind of what it feels like to me. We've got Spencer up here, which is awesome that Spencer's able to attack. Meanwhile, Travis is throwing up and flexing quite strongly on Larry, if we're being honest. But Larry's got stuff over here. We just got troops everywhere. Meanwhile, I've turned and put a whole bunch of troops over here. You can see that Joel has arrived and is just moving forward. But Spencer's, eating up. This game just did not want to end. The game ends, but we didn't really ever destroy them. We're going in some more. So here's their trade. I don't know why I was flagging that. But we're pushing in. On the other side, Travis is got a long ways to go still. Yeah, I don't know what he's waiting on. It's like, man, that was just a long cut, dude. I should have moved, rebuilt in here again. Now we're seeing my troops going all the way around this way, which is lame because we got castles going on. We need to take those castles out. So Taylor has cut through, so I'm trying to, or Taylor's walled off the hole that we made as he's regrouping. We've still got trade up. So the game's not over yet. But you can see lots of troops over here. It's turned. What I think happened was I had my spawning point as to like right here. And so the troops, since it got walled, have turned to go this way. But Larry's plunging again. And Travis is still cutting. With Spencer backing him up. It's not doing a ton. There we go. So we're taking out castles at this point. We're digging through, getting into Taylor again. And this feels like kind of the end game to me. But Taylor's doing a really good job of we're gonna just hold. So I'm sending troops in to right there, and we're gonna just hit. I believe I hit pretty soon. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I go back to the trade. Yeah, going back to the trade. Meanwhile, Travis got distracted a little bit more. Yeah, there's just all of these troops aren't doing anything for them in a fight. That they need troops. So we threw them right here. We're attacking the trade. And building more forward units. Travis has finally arrived to cut into the back door for a YOLO attack onto the trade into Larry's base. Larry just noticed. And so we're going to see what happens. Larry immediately turns troops, and all of these guys are now going this way. But we're already in. It's too late for them at this point. We're there. We've got all these troops going. Taylor at one point tried to finish this wall off, and it was really entertaining to watch him just try and survive. Meanwhile, on the other side, Travis has tons of cavalry, but Larry and I have already pushed them out. Didn't even stop the trade. Now Travis is still there, going for the wood. That should take care of that, and Larry's going to just run up this thing that has, and now there's no troops going through it. So he's created a hole to the back of the base, but there's no troops going in there. And at this point, I've kind of taken over this corridor a little bit. Trade's still up, though, but we took that trade out. Killing units. Going. You can just see we're just spamming troops forward. I didn't really utilize these once I had them built, did I? We got a bunch of troops back here now, taking out the rest of their trade. And we're running through the back. And Travis at this point, Travis and Taylor have quit, so the game's over. Spencer continues on because he's just got a ton of troops, but we're going to fast forward through it because the game's essentially over. You can see Spencer takes these guys and just plunges them. Which, honestly, I'm interested to know what would have happened if he'd been doing that the whole game, because he didn't have a hard time getting his troops here. Although, also, our troops were in his way at the time. But crazy game. Great game. Really enjoyed it. We're just destroying buildings and having a great time. So now we're utilizing these ones. Hats off to Travis for surviving while also maintaining. He was able to do this huge long cut while still fighting Larry in a head-to-head brawl. Talk about an insane game. Took 3 recordings to get it. I was rich the whole game. My economy, I think, won it for me. When we look at scores, Taylor had by far the best military score, but this is a very high Goth military score. I'm pretty proud of that. Also, my economy was really good in that game. But I think everyone showed up that game. I mean, I think that everyone played great. Everyone should be really proud of that game. We look at units killed versus units lost. I almost lost 4,500. I'm pushing 5,000 at this point. Where Taylor killed so many units, just so much trash. You got to be proud of that. It's rare that if we look at the scores, so I'm 59, Taylor has 65, Travis has 53, and Spencer has 56. I had 59, Larry had 53, and Joel had 36. It's rare that when you look at those scores, their team had a significantly higher score than the winning team, and that's talking about a crazy game. Just very, very interesting. Had a lot of food and wood, and I was out of food and wood for most of the game. Also, just because we're going to see, Larry and I were feeding each other. So Larry gave me 16,000 wood. I gave 22,500 food and wood, 12,000 to Larry, and another 13,000 to Joel. So we were just feeding each other, but everyone was. Spencer gave 20,000 food out as well. I'm assuming it's food. I don't really know, but he gave it to Travis. So people were feeding each other. This was a high-level game. Very interesting, very fun. Hope you enjoyed the watch.